Greetings. Thank you for joining me today. If I ask the question, what is love? The average believer would open his Bible and turn to 1 Corinthians 13, starting in verse 4, which says, "Love is patient, love is kind, and is not jealous. Love does not brag and is not arrogant, does not act unbecomingly. It does not seek its own. It is not provoked, does not take into account a wrong suffered, does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. Bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails." But how many believers would respond to this question with 1 John 5:3? "For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome." Let's go ahead and look at that in context by starting in 1 John 5:1, which says, "Whoever believes that Yeshua is the Messiah is born of God, and whoever loves the Father loves the child born of him. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and observe his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome." So now we see in verse 3 that the love of God the Father is to keep his commandments, and they are not burdensome. So we know from what Yeshua told us, that is the first and the greatest commandment, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. So we're to love the Father above all, and the way that we love the Father is by keeping his commandments. And yes, it's being patient, it's being kind. Yeshua told us a number of times, "If you love me, keep my commandments." But we have a tendency to set that aside and run to the 1 Corinthians 13:4, which are excellent scriptures, by the way, excellent verses, excellent teaching for us in how we're to walk out our lives, to be patient, to be kind. And another great verse that complements this is written in 2 John verse 6, which says, "And this is the love of God, that we walk according to his commandments. This is a commandment, just as you have heard from the beginning, that you should walk in it." And again, let's get some context. So let's start in 2 John, starting in verse 1, which says, "The elder to the chosen lady and her children, whom I love in truth, and not only I, but all who know the truth, for the sake of the truth which abides in us and will be with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace will be with us from God the Father and from Yeshua the Messiah, the Son of the Father, in truth and love." I was very glad to find some of your children walking in truth, just as we have received commandment to do from the Father. Now I ask you, lady, not as though I were writing to you a new commandment, but the one which we have had from the beginning, that we love one another. And this is love, that we walk according to his commandments. This is the commandment, just as you have heard from the beginning, that you should walk in it. And if you look at the context about whose commandments, his commandments, it is clearly the Father's commandments. So what are the ramifications here for us? What does this mean for us? It means we need to go back and look in our Bible, starting in Genesis. If we really claim that, yes, I love the Father, yes, I love Yeshua, then we need to be keeping the commandments that come from God. So eat up, brothers and sisters. The word tells us that man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Let's begin to read our Bibles again with new vision, with new understanding that we are to keep all the commandments that God has given to us. They're not burdensome. Yeshua told us his burden is easy, his yoke is light. We've got to believe these words. His truth, his word, his laws, his commandments, they set us free. This is freedom for us. Know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And the word tells us that all thy word is truth. So let's be freed, let's feast, and let's enjoy the word of God and be set free in the truth provided for us through our great God and mighty King. So bless you all. Look forward to next time. God bless you.